Good afternoon. Happy Sunday. Hope everyone is doing well and enjoying their weekend. Hopefully, getting a little bit of recovery from Friday's sell off. Yeah, we had basically a rug pull, if you will, on Friday with the whole China rare earths export tightening, and then Trump announcing 100% tariffs on China, and it's back to the whole tariff war program. And just, yeah, we completely erased about 2 weeks worth of gains on the S&P, if not a little bit more. And yeah, we had the knife and just pretty much liquidated a lot of positions. Even I wasn't immune to all that. I got stopped out on several of my longs, including JD, Apple, PanW. I was trying to play the long side. I was able to take profit and that was a green trade, but the rest of my position got stopped out. My Microsoft runner got clapped. That's okay. And the main thing is, you can't know when certain things like this is going to happen. Yes, they do happen. They come out of the blue. The main thing, that the key takeaway is, if you are sized correctly, and you are playing your levels correctly, defensive playing, these things aren't going to hurt your P&L a whole lot. Of course, it sucks, but you're able to brush it off and move on, and get back in when the dust settles. So that's the good thing about this, and it's a good lesson to learn out there. If you're new to something like this, uncertainty is always within the market. We don't know when a Trump tweet is going to occur, when China retaliation is going to occur, when something like COVID is going to hit, etc. There's always something unknown that's going to hit the market tape, and you get these rug pulls. And we always want to embrace that market uncertainty and not be afraid of it. If your positioned sizing is correct, you have your defensive levels on when you need to stop out or cut things off, and you're playing your targets, there's nothing to be afraid of, right? So always be aware of what's going on within the market, and always just embrace that uncertainty. Don't be afraid of it. Something like this always happens at some point or another. Now, moving forward, we don't know if this is done selling, right? The futures open up in a few hours, so definitely something to pay attention to. If selling continues, if we gap down, hopefully, what I'm looking at is for a failed breakdown and a reclaim of certain levels, to push us back to the upside. That's always the case. We could continue to sell off. I mean, when we had this knife, we pretty much cut through lots of support levels, and that does suggest that, yeah, this can continue to move down. But I'm not interested in playing something that is just knifing like this. I need to see some sort of stall. Like I said, I need to see levels reclaimed, and then progress from there. But as it sits right now, there's not much edge here. If you're a market bear, sure, you can try to play the momentum. But if you're trying to short here, it's probably a little bit risky, just because we don't know when things are going to settle back in. So important thing is, let this open up when futures open, especially when we have the cash market open on Monday. Let things kind of settle in and see where we go. Now, we are going to take a look at a few things here, starting out with the economic calendar. We do have Powell speaking on Tuesday at the Association for Business Economics annual meeting. There is a Q&A session. I'm sure it's all going to be talking about the government shutdown, what the Federal Reserve can do at this time to help navigate things. I'm sure they're going to be very limited on the data they have. Everything data related this week is still on hold, because of the government shutdown. However, the BLS did say that they are going to get the CPI data released by the 24th of October. That is because of the Social Security Administration has to have that inflation data so they can get out benefit checks and such. So at least we'll get that data by the 24th if the government shutdown it still remains. But until then, yeah, the data is still mainly on hold. But all eyes going to be on Powell on Tuesday. But this week, yeah, we got some fun stuff. We got some good earnings reports, good earnings reports from all the financial, pretty much a lot of the major financial institutions are going to be reporting this week. You got names like Goldman, JP Morgan, Citi, Wells Fargo, Interactive Brokers. And then on Thursday before the bell, you got TSM. That's going to be a big player there for the semiconductors. So all eyes are going to be on that. And yeah, I'm really curious to see, how these financial names are holding up, especially, we got our rate, we finally got a rate cut, and generally just want to see, how well are people, saving or investing, etc. So there's going to be some really good data to see how well consumers are doing and investors are doing overall. So a lot of eyes on earnings this week. And yeah, we'll see what Powell has to say. Now, let's get into the charts. Honestly, I ran some scans, and you know what? I'm just going to toss those out the window for now until we fully understand the full impact of the news on Friday, if that's going to spill over to next week, or if finally dust is going to settle and we get more clarification, which I think we've gotten some more headlines in regards to that. Hopefully we won't, the president won't have to use too much leverage there on China, and we need the rare earth exports, and globally, the rest of the world needs those exports because they play a vital role in materials. They're in our cars, they're in our satellites and missiles, they're in the semiconductors. We need that for the AI infrastructure that we are building upon. So they go into practically almost everything, anything you can think of major that can play a vital role. So we are paying attention to all that. Now, when it comes to the charts here, I got the SPY pulled up. We broke through the daily 21. We look like we are going to test the daily 50 at about 651. If we look at the weekly chart here, we can see that we're still a good ways away from the weekly 21 EMA, which basically says, yeah, we're still extended. We still haven't had a mean reversion on the weekly time frame. And matter of fact, I want to pull up Bollinger Bands if it will let me here. It doesn't look like it's going to let me. Anyway, let's see. Let me refresh here and see what's happening. Pull that up. Internet's a little slow. There we go. All right, so there's our weekly chart here. And we can pull up our EMAs. There's the weekly 21. Yep, the blue line here is the weekly 21 EMA. And I do want to pull up Bollinger Bands just to see. Look, yeah, we were pretty close to that Bollinger Band, upper Bollinger Band. And now it's time to pull back. So if the market wants to pull back even further, she most definitely can. There's wiggle room to the downside if we do get some follow through. Now, what I do want to look for here is, if the market wants to reclaim, I want to see a reclaim of 654, 655 on the SPY. If the market continues to push down, I am going to be looking for a move down to about the 637, which that should be about the 50. So that's going to be this one, right? Yeah. And then I want to put the 200. Yep. There we go. All right. There's the daily 50 SMA. And look at that level here. The 637 is going to line up pretty close to that weekly 21 EMA. So 637 is going to be a crucial level for me if we do get further downside pressures here on the SPY. But like I said, I want to see a reclaim of at least 654. Moving on to tech, yeah, as you can see, look at that knife down. You pretty much broke a lot of support levels on that move down. I do have a major level here at about 583. That also lines up with the daily 50 simple moving average. If we want to reclaim, yeah, we got to start out by reclaiming 591. Probably 596 would be the better way to play it. You know, if we zoom in to the hourly chart, yeah, look at this. You can see this, how important these levels are here. We can even probably move this up here to kind of, yeah, look at that. 592. Yeah, I want to see a reclaim of 592 first, and then let's see if we can get a reclaim. So if we reclaim 592, I'm going to look at a target of about 596, 597 on the Qs. That's going to be the initial play here that I'm going to be looking for on the NASDAQ and so forth. So we really need to see where things open up and move from there. Like I said, it seems kind of silly to look at individual names because we know these names are pretty much busted for the time being. You know, Apple just got absolutely wrecked. Tesla dipped back under 420. Tesla has wiggle room to push back down to 367. Amazon got absolutely wrecked. Now, this does look like a pretty good short. If Amazon wants to lose 216, 215, this could be a pretty nice follow-through move to play to the downside to 211. Even, you know, market darlings such as Hood got absolutely wrecked on Friday. Palantir, another big down candle here. If you start to lose 172 on Palantir, that looks a little gross to me. Helms, another one, still unable to, you know, recapture the 66. There's going to be a lot of names like this that are just absolutely, that absolutely got, you know, pretty demolished. You know, financial names got hit. Yeah, there's the XLF. Energy got hit. Utilities also backed down a little bit. Industrials got hit really hard after making new all-time highs. Builders got hit. I mean, there really wasn't anything that didn't get hit. Now, if we look at Bitcoin here, 109 is my level here. This would be a pretty decent retest here, 109, 107. You're getting a little bit of a bounce, which is nice. So we'll pay attention to see how crypto relates. I mean, Doge, I mean, you know it. A lot of these guys just got absolutely liquidated. A lot of people who were over leveraged got absolutely destroyed. And that brings me to another point. Quit playing with margin. Quit playing with levers that you can't afford to play. I mean, you shouldn't be doing that anyway. Only be playing with money that you are okay to lose, you know, and that is definitely the case. The same case when it comes to crypto. Be careful out there. But yeah, Doge got hit. All the altcoins pretty much got clapped. I'm not even going to try to recall all those weird names out there. But yeah, crypto, I mean, Bitcoin got hit. Ethereum also got hit. And what is nice here, you know, Ethereum had a nice little reclaim here, so that's good. This would have been a nice little reclaim. I don't have any skin in the game here on Ethereum, but yeah, look at this reclaim. Nice little break back over 3,900. Yeah, pay attention to that. See if these reclaims hold, and if that's the case, maybe we can get ourselves a nice little bullish squeeze here. So yeah, there you go. SPY, like I said, let's let the market open. Let's see where futures open, at least at 6 o'clock. And let's see what the cash market decides to do at the opening bell at 9:30 tomorrow morning. Other than that, mind your P's and Q's. Don't be a hero. Don't try to catch the falling knife. And don't try to chase. Let them open up. See where things want to go. Play play off of your levels. Like I said, bulls need to have some sort of reclaim, and there's plenty of levels you can play with based on chart levels. You can also use moving average levels, those dynamic levels, Fibonacci retracements, etc. Whatever you're using to play this, make sure you have a stop in mind. Before you enter any trade, you should have a stop. You should have your targets. Anything else that happens in between then is just a bunch of noise, right? Don't get caught off guard. If it goes against you, it goes against you. You stop out and you fight another day. That's the key thing. Fight another day. All right, guys, that's going to be it for me. Have a good rest of your Sunday. Again, play your levels. Don't be a hero. Let's let things open up. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be sitting on my hands until I fully understand what is going on within the market price action. All right, guys, take care. Happy Sunday, and I will see you on Tuesday because I'm going to be live within the Discord Tuesday morning and Thursday morning. So happy to be back. Happy to see y'all, and looking forward to it. All right, guys, have a good one. Take care.